So this morning, first of all, I welcome you all here. Thank you for joining our service this morning and also for watching us on YouTube and supporting our belief system and your own. This morning I'm going to be talking about preparations for Christmas. You know, it's interesting to me, and I suspect to most of you as well, how it's almost a general consensus among our friends and family members and even people we don't know, talking about how Christmas isn't Christmas anymore. How back even a few weeks before Thanksgiving, all the decorations for Christmas started coming into the department stores. We rarely hear Christmas music on the radio anymore because people are complaining that it's too religious and they don't want the religiousness on their radio, I guess, to hear this beautiful Christmas music. And then there are people that become very depressed, you know, particularly between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And they just want it to be over. Do you hear people talk like this? Yeah, it's becoming more and more predominant. And I think, okay, well, darkness is winning. And we're not going to let the darkness win. We're not about darkness. God is not about darkness. Christ is not about darkness. You know, Christ is about life. Truly about life, about living. We all have this spark of God within us. And that spark, within that spark, which is us, which is life, there is a plan and there is a purpose. And that plan and purpose is not about darkness. And it is not about depression. And it is not giving in to the outer structure of life, which is more and more and more materialistic, which is more and more and more about fear. If you don't do this, this is going to happen. If you don't do that, that's going to happen. And on and on and on. You turn on CNN. I don't even watch CNN anymore. And you all know I used to love CNN. You know, I don't find the joy except in Anthony Bourdain's, travels around the world, which is so interesting about food and life, and he really gets into the inner part of each country and village, and so we can see, if you allow me to say it, we can see the simple part of man. It's so beautiful. So, we don't want to be in that darkness, and we have to fight against it because it's so predominant. And the minute we begin to feel joy and a little bit of light coming into our life, somebody tries to take it away. But if we stand in the light, if we really practice the meditation that we had earlier this morning, we're going to stay in that light. Darkness is not greater than light. It just isn't. Darkness is ignorance, it's stupidity. And it's not infinite. So, preparations for Christmas. This is a talk this morning that is for those of us that want to bring more light than ever before into the life. And those of us that want some kind of direction over these next few days as we approach Christmas. So we're putting the Spirit of Christ into Christmas. We're not letting the department stores take it out. We're not letting credit card debt after Christmas take the light away from Christmas and the spirit of Christmas. So we're going to be strong and we're going to fight against the darkness. And this is how we're going to do it. The talk this morning is essentially taken from a chapter that Torgrim Saradarian wrote from the book Teachings of Christ. Essentially, the chapter is talking to us about the sun and how we all have a sun within us and how we need to synchronize ourselves every single day with that sun. Then we're going to talk about the spiritual side and the practical side of what we're going to do between now and the 26th of December. But you don't really have to stop on the 26th of December. But these exercises are going to take us up from the 21st to the 26th, from the winter solstice through Christmas. But if you want to, you can continue on day after day after day. So we need to synchronize ourselves with the sun. Now, those of you that are pragmatists, those of you that are very concrete thinking, those of you that have to have a reason right in front of you, my challenge to you is stop thinking. Stop thinking and feel. Okay, we're going to feel what it is like to synchronize ourselves with the sun every day. If we do this, we can absorb the electricity, the electromagnetic energy of the sun and its magnetism. And the only way you're going to know if this is factual or not is by doing it, experiencing it, feeling it. So writing down notes and then walking away this morning and running back out into the department stores or back into your depression is not going to help you this morning listen to what we're talking about. You really try to understand this and make a commitment to yourself that this is what I'm going to do this year. Particularly now. If you can't do it the whole year, just from the 21st to the 26th. It's not too big of a commitment. And I would bet you by the 26th, you're going to be so different. You're going to have touched in on this electrical flow of transformational energy that you're going to continue on. So on the 21st of the month, this month is December, the sun is going to turn to the north on the 21st. Today is the 17th, I think. 14th. What day is it? Okay. Oh, good. We still have a few more days. Okay, so today's the 14th. The 21st, the sun is going to turn north and its light is going to increase. The 21st of this month is called the winter solstice. And the sun enters into this magnificent sign of Capricorn. It is the day of the new moon. It's a very special and beautiful day. You can plan, we can plan that day to align ourselves to the electromagnetic energy of the Capricorn sun and its magnetism. Now, what day are we going to start this?
Sunday.
What?
21st.
The 21st, okay. Okay. So what does this have to do with the preparations for Christmas? Here's a simple answer. Christmas is the moment, the day, or the week in which we are taking actions to synchronize ourselves with the source of love and light and life. Life. L-I-F-E. We are going to wipe out all that is a hindrance in our system, in our body, in our being. Now, I will tell you, because I've been practicing this, I started a little earlier. Okay. These hindrances are like major boulders. And we're going to be fighting how to remove these boulders so that we can truly and fully embrace the Spirit of Christmas, and synchronize ourselves to the sun that is going to start moving northward on the 21st. But what happens is this, the minute you start this process, this actually, it's just a little grain of sand, but it feels like a boulder that we cannot surmount, this hindrance within ourselves. And then we get depressed. I go, wait a minute. Is this what my life is supposed to be about? Is this why God said, all right, Jolene, I want you to come into this life with all these boulders so you'll really feel depressed? Of course not. But life somehow seems to organize itself in such a way that this is what happens with our thinking. And of course, I'm speaking generally and, not specifically and not every minute of the day. So we want to first remove the hindrances and not let them control our life. This is not what our life is supposed to be about. Just imagine this throughout the year, as your light is increasing, as joy is becoming a predominant part of your day-to-day life, imagine moving into Christmas and truly and fully experiencing the Spirit of Christ without having to shove those boulders out of the way first. Imagine. So are we tired enough of the way things are presently going for us in our life that we are really going to be willing to remove the frictions from our life? The frictions I will be talking a little bit about this morning, but also how we're going to celebrate as we move closer into the time of Christmas. So mark the 21st on your calendar. Some of you have calendars on your refrigerators, others of you have calendars on your laptop, others on your iPad, others on your iPhone and Nook, and wherever you keep your calendar that's most visible, make a major mark on it. The 21st, this is the day I'm going to start these wonderful exercises. If you live in mountain time, the exact time of the solstice and the new moon of Capricorn is 3 minutes after 4 in the afternoon. And what day is this? 21st. The 21st, okay. That's the day of the new moon, the day of the new moon of Capricorn, and the winter solstice. Okay, this is what we're going to do. This is kind of an introduction to moving into the more spiritual exercises, and then I'll give 2 or 3 practical exercises. Everything, and we can start thinking about this now, okay? Okay. Everything that is against light within you, stop it. There you go. We're going to stand in the light. Just like it said in our meditation this morning, we're going to stand in the light. We're going to speak in the light. We're going to express in the light. Our conversations must be of light. That means when somebody comes to your house and they're sad and they're depressed, you're not going to say, come on, I'll be sad with you. Come on, man, I agree with you. This is the most depressing life. It's horrible, isn't it? Let's sit down and talk about our depression. We're not going to do that. We're going to look at that person in the light. We're going to bless them. We're going to envision them in the light, even if they don't know it. Our words must be carriers of light. If there is any darkness within you, this is what's happening. This is what you're doing to yourself. You are creating a friction between your lower self, your personality life, and your higher nature, your soul. If there's any darkness in you. The sun does not only exist in the sky. So now that you concrete-minded people thinking like that, saying, how can you say the sun isn't, It is within you. Just believe it. Have faith. It is in there. The day you awaken, a phenomenon occurs. That light is no longer hidden. That sun is no longer hidden within you. And this incredible, magnificent, beautiful, illuminating light turns on, and all you can see is light. When you close your eyes, all you can see is light. When you go to sleep at night, all you can see is light. Then you will never ever doubt again. There is light within you. Fortunately, it only happens for a few days. That light in the head, it's a real thing. It's not just somebody saying you have to be a master before you can experience the light in the head. Or it's not someone in India that's, in a meditative posture, melting the snow around them on the mountain that can experience that light in the head. You can experience that. That's the Christ light. So that's the Christ light, or the sun that is within us. Once you align with the sun within you, you are ready to synchronize yourself with the sun in the universe. Once this happens, once you align your inner sun with the sun in the universe, then a new door opens for you where you're going to align with something even greater. Let's say the center of the galaxy. The wisdom teachings throughout the ages have given us legends and stories about the Zoroastrians, the Egyptians, the Hindus, the Tibetans, and many other nations, saying that they worship the sun. For example, in Egypt, thousands of years ago, a great king made a picture of the sun they used to worship. But it was not the physical sun that they were seeing. It was the sacred spiritual sun, the source of all creation. Now let yourself think this way. See, this is the esoteric teaching. This is the occult teaching. This is the teaching that is the foundation of all spiritual teaching in the world. Let yourself think this way. In England, the Druids used to worship the sun because through the sun were the three qualities of God. Did you know that? Some people will think the Druids, spare me. I don't want to hear anything about something so evil. Let's see. The three qualities of God. There's nothing evil in that. It's only those who are brainwashed, who do not know how to think with their heart, that align themselves with eclipses of the sun rather than with the rays of the sun. The three qualities of God, of that almighty infinite power, were directed and channeled and transmitted to our earth. So as we are aligning the sun within us, synchronizing our inner sun with the outer sun and the sacred spiritual sun and the center of the universe, we are allowing those qualities of God to awaken, those qualities, those very same qualities that are within us. This was the drawing or magnetic energy that attracts so many of us to that famous circle of stones called Stonehenge, which is about 90 miles west of London. All those gigantic boulders that are so easily recognized by most everyone on the planet is based on an alignment of the sun and the planets orbiting the sun. Those three qualities of God are light and love and life. L-I-F-E. Life means in everything we do and think and feel is the life. This means everything you do, think, and feel must be done as if you are the life. You see, we are not the body. We are not our emotions. We are not our fears and angers, and yet we let our fears control our decisions, make our decisions for us, don't we? We are not our thoughts and ideas. We don't have, and I say this respectfully, rarely do we have an original thought or idea. And this is why we are not our thoughts and ideas. We are a wave, a life wave in the ocean of life. Once you really realize this, once this knowledge is established within you, you are creating the first step of synchronizing with the source of life. Isn't this interesting? When you are synchronizing with the source of life, whatever you think, that is what you are. Thought releases the energy, aligns you with the life stream of the universe. So, starting the 21st of December, in the winter solstice of this month, we are all going to align with the sun within us to the source of life, and we are all going to think as if we are the life. We are the life. That we are not the body. We are not the darkness. We are not the depression. We are not that person that slighted us or forgot about us or attacked us. That's not who we are. We are the life. We are not the form. The second step of synchronization is that we are going to bloom in the sun. All these beautiful plants here today, they're blooming because they were in the sun. We can be just like a poinsettia plant. Our beautiful deodar tree, that all must be in the sun to express their beauty, to be in the light to express their beauty. In that blooming, we are going to express things like compassion and love, cooperation, harmonization, and integrity. We're going against the stream of darkness. We are just like flowers that bloom in the sun. we have little etheric centers that are flowers in each of us, little etheric centers that are flowers. In other words, we are becoming a Christmas tree. The Christmas tree is a symbol of a blooming person. So if we start synchronizing with the electricity of the universe, with the light of the universe, we are going to bloom. We are going to manifest color and sound. We are going to become influential in the life. You are going to become creative. Wow, I just looked at the clock. It's 11:11. That's a powerful moment. What can we do with this moment? What I hear people saying or doing or believing in so frequently is their little self. The little self can't do a darn thing without the greater self. It cannot. So we have this greater self that's called the higher self. All we have to do is synchronize ourselves to that light. So as we take our divine spark and synchronize with the greater life that synchronizes with the sun and the central spiritual sun, then you can do something. Because now you are the life. And people who are the life are not depressed. It is people who say, nobody can do this for me, or everybody can do this for me, I can't. See, either way. See where I'm going with this? It's like we have a divine power. This is why I'm trying to get everybody to come here on Sundays, because this whole sanctuary is an electromagnetic source of energy. All you have to do is plug in. Each Sunday we come back in here and knowingly or unknowingly we plug back in to that beautiful sun that charges us with the divine flow of life. Now, if you sit here and just hear things intellectually, and then the minute you get up from the chair or from your computer and you run back out into the mundane little L life, then everything vaporizes. And we go back to being the body. And I don't know you, but I tell you, when you get into your 60s and 70s, your body isn't so great anymore. You know, so when you're 20, you're pretty hot stuff. You know, but as you start to get older and older and older, and the body starts shrinking, and you start getting lines and frowns lines and gray hair and all except for Moses. Moses, you know, lived to be about 140 years. I heard this the other day. And he was a beautiful man. Okay, we can be that. We can be beautiful at 140. I don't know that we have the formula quite, you know, established yet. So let's take all this sense of the body at 20, switch it over to the divine life. So when we get to that stage of being wrinkled, that we see something other than the body, that we're standing in the light. So we're going to start synchronizing with the electricity of the universe, with the light of the universe, and we are going to bloom. We are going to become influential in the life. We are going to become creative. love, as we synchronize ourselves with the radiating love of the sun, then our love is going to increase. And when this happens, you're going to change yourself. You will say, I don't want to talk about these things. I don't want to think about these things. I don't want to act and behave this way and that way, for these things are against love. And if we could think this way, we would have no more divorce. It's interesting, in a marriage that we love 80% of that person. It's the 20% that causes the divorce. So interesting. It's crazy. It's convoluted. Okay, let's take that 20%, mix it in with the 80%. And the way you mix it in with the 80%, because all you see is the 80%. And that's love. The third force is the light. We are going to create an increase. We're not going to create. We are going to increase our light. Many great masters say that if a person comes with great encyclopedic knowledge, but just sits there, but another poor person comes who is really spiritual, they can tell, the master can tell which is which by the light. The poor man's light is 30 miles wide. But this one encyclopedic mind does not have any light. Light is the expansion, that unfoldment of our true self. When we start fusing with ourself, when we start fusing ourselves with the light, with the love, with the life of the Almighty Presence, we're going to pass through the transformational process. And this means that our physical body is going to change. The emotional body is going to change, and our mental body will change. And we will experience a new cycle of spring, because we are all going toward the spring, starting on the 21st. Now here's some practical information, what we're going to do. We're going to clean our house, our kitchen, our bathroom and bedroom and so forth. We're going to try to make everything clean if we can. If there is anything around our house that is decaying, we're going to throw it out and clean it. Old shoes, jackets, and shirts that you're not using, get rid of them. Or at least begin the process. And as you're doing this, try to say, I'm going to be clean. My stomach is going to be clean. My brain is going to be clean. My hands are going to be clean. You're going to exercise your divine will and say, I am going to practice for at least 1 week some kind of cleanliness. The next exercise at sunrise, we're going to try every morning to raise our right hand in the sunrise, at the sunrise. Then hold the left hand out and say, my Lord, pour down your blessings so that I may pass them on to the world. This is a great service. And we can do that with that person that comes in our front door with depression. Now, we're not going to do this. They'll run. But in our imagination, because we will have done it at sunrise, and that's going to carry throughout the day. My Lord, pour down your blessings so that I pass them on to the world. Feel it. It is so beautiful. This was used in ancient times, we're told, by great priests. For example, they used to go to the top of the pyramid and invoke the sun. Zoroastrian priests, Tibetans in the Himalayas, in Greece, in North and South America, they did these things. So when the sun starts to go north on the 21st, the first thing that happens is that it's going to hit our system. That sun is going to hit our system, and the synchronization starts. Your atoms and your cells, we are told, freak out. They have to arrange themselves and synchronize with this sun. See, I think in part this is an underlying cause to a lot of the depression that people are already starting to sense now, are starting to feel. Because it's just a few more days before the 21st. So the more sensitive someone is, the more the mechanism of the body is starting to already change. In other words, the atoms and the cells are already starting to freak out. So the atoms and the cells have to arrange themselves and synchronize with the sun. So let's start now. How? We have to cooperate using the exercises that I'm sharing this morning. If we do not, then we are doing something different. And that something different is we are creating a friction between ourselves and the inpouring light. So with these exercises, we are trying to synchronize ourselves, our aura, synchronize ourselves, our aura, and also becoming a bridge. See how this is a very big deal that we're doing here. We're becoming a bridge between the earth, humanity, all kingdoms, and the superhuman kingdom. We are becoming instruments of the life. At noon, we can say, "Lead us, O Lord, from darkness to light, from the unreal to the real, from death to immortality, from chaos to beauty." That's at noon. So every morning, we are going to strive to do this, and at noon until the 26th. You will see what will happen Christmas, between now and Christmas. And if that something happens, write to me. So next year, I can say, I got all these beautiful letters. Let me share some with you of people's wonderful experiences. It is very unfortunate that Christmas time is often a time of depression for so many people, a time of drinking, and the time sometimes of hating and jealousy. This is not Christmas. Christmas is nothing else but a process of making ourselves light and love and life. We can change ourselves into light, into love, but do not act against the life. The life is one. We cannot act against the life. Now at nighttime, at sunset, we can meditate at sunset for 5 minutes. This is a 1-week program. So at sunset, we can say, "My Lord, let your compassion increase in my heart. My Lord, let your compassion increase in my heart so that I am filled with your compassion." When you open your mouth, instead of nonsense going out of your mouth, let blessing and light and love and beauty express themselves. So we're going to say at sunset, "My Lord, let your compassion increase in my heart so that I am filled with your compassion." Then at bedtime, when you go to bed, you can say, "May my soul, like a fragrance, may my soul, like a fragrance, rise to your presence." Imagine that your soul is like a fragrance rising to the Almighty presence. It is so beautiful. When your whole family or your whole group do these exercises, what blessings will come to you? Lord, may my soul like a fragrance rise to your presence. If my soul rises to your presence, then I do not have any fear of anybody or anything. I am in light. Because I am with you, nothing can stand against me. Period. Nothing. So every night before sleep, hand yourself to that almighty presence. When you awaken, believe me, you will see that your body is fragrant, because it is your thoughts that make you fragrant, because you are now the life. You see? The sunset will make your compassion, take your compassion everywhere. At sunset, you're giving your compassion to the rays of the sun to take to the other parts of the world. And when the sun comes back, because you gave to it, it's going to give back to you in great abundance. Now, if you still want other things to do in preparation for Christmas, every day from the 21st, give something to somebody with all your love, even if it is a small card, or $10, or a little chocolate, or a flower. Give something. Bring something secret every day that week and surprise your co-worker or your spouse or your child or a friend. See if you can do this every day. If you can do this, you will see what a change is happening, because this technique is the secret of synchronization. Christ once said, it is so much more blessed to be those who give than those who receive. So the blessing is coming. We must change ourselves and others and everybody within the charge of love. See, who cares what we know? Who cares what we are? Who cares how much money you have? If you do not have pure love, unconditional love, then you are nothing. You are zero. You do not exist because you are a burned out light in the presence of God. Only light increases us, increases you. Love increases your light. Love unites you with the Almighty light. Light and love equal life. So this is what we can do. You know, it's certainly your choice. But who wouldn't want to do this? Between the 21st and Christmas. Okay, that's it. Next Sunday we are having our Christmas service, by the way. So try to be here. Just if you don't come any other time of the year, bring yourself. This is your gift. You know, this sanctuary, this beautiful, electrically, divinely charged sanctuary wants to give to you. So how can you be too busy to come? So come.